What did you think? Are you caught up on the show?
I am.
Yeah.
You want to know my opinion?
Of this season, yeah, without spoiling.
I've got opinions. Okay, so I loved it, but I understand that I may not be in the majority here. I've heard that there are certain people who think that the show's gone off the rails, but I'm not one of them.
Me neither.
I really like it.
I mean, I think I totally get complaints about the rushed pacing and also that it's a nicer show now, because I have those complaints too, but I still think it's so good and it's so amazing.
Yes.
And that stuff, even though I feel like it takes something away from the show, it also adds something different, that it's just fun and satisfying and like instant gratification.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, you don't have to wait forever to see the things that I know that we're talking about.
Travel across. Yeah, you know what we're talking about.
A little rear window action.
Front window.
I don't know that.
Side
I don't
door.
know that for sure.
Yeah, pretty much every entrance. Okay. Then what else? So, just while we're on this subject, so we decided we're going to go back and do a rewatch of the whole series of Game of Thrones. So
smart.
Yeah,
you're going to have enough time until the next season, right?
I know it might not come out until 2019.
So that means that you're going to have plenty of time to watch all the past seasons.
And it'll be fun because we're going to talk about it from the perspective of having seen the series up to now, so we'll notice all these little foreshadowings and stuff like that.
Yep. Or like, well, they probably didn't plan for that because later on, or maybe they did. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, maybe we won't have much to say about that, but I think we will, because it's such a dense show. And all right,
that's fantastic. So that's Game of Microphones. When are you going to start that?
I don't know. Probably pretty soon, though. Maybe in a week or two.
Cool. Nice.
I need a break from Game of Thrones, to tell you the truth. I loved it, but it's hard to podcast on. I met Bruce Campbell at Walker Stalker Boston a couple weeks ago. Do you want to hear a little bit about that?
Yes. Is he everything I think he is?
Well, here was my interaction with him. I went up to his table and I bought his book. He has a new book out, Hail to the Chin, I think it's called.
Hail to the Chin, yeah.
And I said, hey, I manage panels here. I've done it for 4 years, but you guys are the ones that I really fanboy out over. And he's like, oh, thanks. And I go, yeah, I actually do a Evil Dead podcast, The Top One. He's like, huh? And I go, and I think you guys are just knocking it out of the park with this show. And he's like, okay. He's like, that's enough adulation.
All right, I'm done here accepting your praise.
I got it.
He wasn't on a panel?
He was, but he does his own thing. So it was him and Ted Raimi.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Who plays Henrietta in the movies.
Yes.
And they were the best panel ever. What they did was they had fan talents. So they went around and they'd ask people what their hidden talents were in the audience.
Oh, cool.
They were like a comedy show, like a Laurel Hardy kind of thing. And they got people up with, like, this one woman sang opera and she was really good.
Oh.
And there was this bendy girl who could, like, do contortions and things.
Whoa.
And then they got, like, fast talking woman and nose flute player and people who said they were funny but were not at all funny. And then they had them compete against each other and they'd just make fun of them, and it was really fun.
Oh my God, that's the best panel.
Yeah. It was really fun. And you know what the best thing about it was? Backstage, a lot of these guys, like, they're just talking and I'm like trying to show them the entrance to the stage and they're just really blasé about it. And I'm like, okay, fine. And I introduce them and they come on. But Bruce Campbell and Ted Raimi were like, all right, you're going to go out and you're going to introduce and say this. And then I'm going to come and do my thing. And they were seemed a little nervous about it, even though he's like the king of these, right? He's been doing it longer than any of us.
Yeah.
And so Ted Raimi goes out and does this big spiel, and you could see Bruce Campbell backstage just focusing, and then he runs out on stage, and I just thought that was so endearing that he cared so much, That's what it seemed like.
Oh, that is so great,
that was really
man. Cool. It's funny that his panel had really nothing to do with Ash versus Evil Dead.
No, I mean, at the end he goes, all right, you guys have any questions that you just have to have answered? And then he would, like, call. That was a dumb question. I'm not answering that or stuff like that, But in Philly, where it'll be the cast members without him, so I'm hoping I get to moderate that one.
Yeah, I hope so too. And did you ask him if you can interview him for Ash
Not
vs.
yet.
Evil Dead?
I need to write to him.
You're working up to it?
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't want to. I don't know. I don't really ask people at the conventions because I feel like it's separate. I know James probably doesn't want me doing too much of that.
Yeah.
What else? There was also a great panel with Michael Cudlitz, who was on antihistamines and said right off the bat, "This is going to be a weird one. I took an antihistamine earlier today and it hasn't worn off."
Yeah, a quote unquote antihistamine.
No, it was real. He got allergies. But the funnest part was when I said, "Hey, what if Abraham came back as a ghost and haunted Daryl?" And he just ran with it. He's like, yeah. I'd be like, "What's up, Daryl? Like, how you like me now, bitch nuts?" And he's like, "Why'd you hit Negan in the face and get Glenn killed?"
Bet you regret that now.
Standing up on the chair, and he goes, "Yeah, I'd be wearing like a ghost Lori dress and everything."
Oh my God, that's awesome.
That was pretty fun.
That's great.
And there was Sictionary with King Ezekiel and Jerry were up there, and Tara and Cindy from Oceanside, and they during the dance off, Carrie Payton did the worm, like that.
What?
Dancing.
What? There was a dance off?
We do that sometimes because it's always a tie because the clues are so easy.
Yeah.
So we have this bust out the tunes ready and see what happens, And he looked there. I don't know what to do. I don't know. And then he just starts doing the worm.
Go, Carrie Payton. That's awesome.
Those are like the funnest things that have happened to me since I podcasted last. I also wanted to ask you, have you seen The Ozark? Is that what it's called? Or Ozark?
Ozark?
On Netflix with Jason Bateman.
I have not.
Me neither. It's supposed to be kind of like Breaking Bad, which made me think, well, we already saw Breaking Bad, but it's supposed to be really good. So I'm curious. You seem to be really in tune with a lot of the Netflix shows, so I thought maybe you might have seen it.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's so much good content out right
Every
now.
time I turn on Netflix, there's a new show on the front.
Something great
like
to
every
watch.
hour, it seems like they come out with
It's like, come on. And not just, Hulu, Amazon, on and on and on. There's just good stuff. And I got to tell you, I'm trying to slog my way through the new Twin Peaks.
Oh, really? Yeah.
I'm trying.
That doesn't sound fun.
You might have gotten that by the word slog. Yeah. Listeners, if anybody else has any tips for getting through some people probably love it and think I'm crazy. And I'm going to keep going because it's Twin Peaks. But man, you haven't tried it yet?
I hear it's really good if you play it on triple speed.
Yes, I have been guilty of fast forwarding through a couple things, but you know what? Oh yeah, but it's Twin Peaks.
I'm not gonna watch it then. F it.
There's a lot of good stuff on, man.
You know what? Before we get into the news, I'm going to go ahead and do our first sponsor. So I really don't like clothes shopping all that much. It's okay, but you have to go out of your way to go down there, and I don't really know what's going to make me look good, and you're in those uncomfortable dressing rooms, and if I don't like what I tried, I got to get my regular clothes back on and go out. You can't just walk out in your underwear and pick out some new stuff off the rack.
No, you cannot do that.
So I'm going to try that. But anyways, our new sponsor kind of takes care of that. It's called Bombfell, and it's an easier way for men. I think it's for men, but to get better clothes. And you can use it if you want to just have some new casual clothes, or if you want to like have some work clothes, or if you want to like go out. You can choose what kind of clothes you're looking for, and then you get a stylist assigned to you.
Nice.
And you can talk back and forth with them, and they handpick a few things, and they send it to you, and you tell them about how much you're willing to spend, and you tell them things you absolutely don't like I don't wear plaid, so I said no plaid. And then they'll send you an email with their selections, and you can say, yeah, that looks cool, I'll try it, or not. You're in total control. So then once you've picked a few things, they send it to you in a box and you get it and you try it on. And if you like it, then you pay. And it's retail prices. There's no extra fees.
Dang.
No membership charge or anything like that. No extras. And if you don't want it, you just ship it back. All the shipping is free. You don't have to pay for any of that stuff. Nice. So it's like just a personal clothing valet service.
Yep.
It's simple, it's straightforward, it's flexible, and you can receive clothes once a month, every 2 months, every 3 months. You can pause it or cancel it anytime. It's just really, really simple. And this is great for me because I always feel like, man, I need to update my wardrobe. I just have a lot of black t-shirts and jeans, and I need stuff to wear when I go to these panels or, go out to, hang out with, like, a lot of times there's opportunities to go out for drinks and stuff like that afterwards.
You want something a little stylish to wear.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
I got my first shipment just a couple of days ago. I had a button-down shirt and a nice tee and a pair of cotton pants, and really liked the pants, but except they didn't quite fit exactly right. They were comfortable, they looked cool, a little more stylish than what I normally wear, but not quite right. So I'm just going to send it back and let them know exactly why, and then they'll send me something new. The shirts were great, but they were all high quality. I mean, I was a little heartbroken that those pants didn't fit exactly right, because I'm like, something besides jeans that looks good on me. But so we'll see what the next one is. But it was all easy. It was a pleasure to get these and be able to try them on at home, in the comfort of my own environment, at my own pace. You get 7 days to try them out before you decide.
Did Jenny weigh in on them?
She did, yeah, and that helped me a lot.
That's important too, man.
So Bombfell's offering $25 off your first purchase to listeners of Walking Dead Cast. And so if you want to get that, go to bombfell.com/deadcast. That's BOMBFELL.com/deadcast. Bombfell.com/deadcast. Thank you, Bombfell. Excited to have you guys as a new sponsor.
Thanks, Bombfell. I'm going to make David do that. He hates shopping too, so that's perfect.
Yeah, who doesn't?
Obvious threat to untold numbers of citizens.
The people it kills get up and kill.
Are they slow-moving, Chief?
Yeah, they're dead. They're all messed up.
This is a Walking Dead Cast news update.
Okay, these are sort of in random order, but The Walking Dead Season 7 Blu-ray came out.
Oh, nice.
I heard that they don't have the Negan cuts because apparently he's been filming a lot of scenes twice so he can have the fuckity fucks in there.
Yeah,
I heard they don't have them in there.
Oh, man.
What the hell? I don't know. But anyways, on one of the commentary tracks, Angela Kang, writer, revealed something that we had been wondering about. So back when Daryl was captured and imprisoned at Sanctuary and he had a big orange A on his shirt.
Yep.
She was talking about what that stands for. Apparently it stands for asshole. And
really?
Yeah. And she said, randomly people ask me all the time if the A stands for anything. And I was like, it just means asshole. They're just being juvenile, like A for asshole and F and S for fuckface and shithead.
That's hilarious.
Isn't it?
It is.
I like it. It makes me like that episode a little more.
I know.
It's cool.
Yep.
Yeah. Even though it's supposed to be a rated PG-13 show, they kind of snuck that in there.
They snuck a little thing in there. I love it.
So check this out. Robert Kirkman, Galen Hurd, David Alpert, who's another producer, and Glenn Mazzara, ex-showrunner, they're all suing AMC. Kirkman, too.
I heard about this. Tell me more.
Yeah, so Gizmodo.com sums it up pretty well. They say the producers feel AMC undersold the rights to the show, but oversold production costs to keep profits artificially low. Each producer has a specific percentage of the profits he or she's supposed to earn, but if someone is lying about how much profit's actually being made, there's an issue. Lots of the murkiness comes from the fact that AMC broadcasts The Walking Dead and AMC Studios produces The Walking Dead. Two companies owned by the same company may be kinder to each other when it comes to selling the show at the rate it is truly worth, which is a lot, blah, blah, blah. So, and then AMC answered, we have enormous respect and appreciation for these plaintiffs, and we will continue to work with them as partners, even as we vigorously defend against this baseless and predictably opportunistic lawsuit. So it's like, these are our friends, but we hate them.
But we hate them because they are predictably opportunistic.
Yeah.
Wow.
So do you think they'll be able to keep a working relationship even as they're battling each other in court?
It sounds really crunchy, and
Yeah.
it depends on how close the AMC executives are to the production of the show, the actual production of the show. Probably pretty close. So yeah, it sounds awful and an awkward situation. So
Yeah.
yay.
I mean, I wouldn't, I don't know. I hope not. But what if Kirkman left the show? That'd be weird.
He has 2 shows on AMC. He has Fear and The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Damn.
It seems like AMC has a problem. Like, they're cheap. But
Yes.
I don't know if we ever reported on this, but it came out like a couple months ago that Darabont was just cussing everybody out. Do you hear about that?
I don't think we ever reported on it.
No.
I read a little bit of it, and then I put it down, and I'm like, I wish I didn't know that.
I gotta, because that made me rethink everything. I'm like,
me
he's
too.
a total dickhead.
Me too.
He was like, I'm gonna shove this down your throats and stomp on your neck
Yes.
or something, and
Right, exactly.
because
It was
people
not
weren't
pleasant.
like doing the cinematography correctly.
And I'm like, is that true? Is that, if it is, it doesn't show him in a very nice light at
No.
all.
I know.
Yeah, it was really
A
distressing.
bit much. I mean, I saw this video recently with Arnold Schwarzenegger talking about James Cameron. And he's like, yeah, he's a different person on film. He has a vision and he will work tirelessly to get it done, but you better stay out of his way. And when you got the Terminator going,
Yeah.
watch out for that guy. He's like, but I would absolutely work with him again. But I've heard that he's like a total monster on set.
Right.
But
right.
he makes pretty cool movies.
Yeah, he's a genius. Sometimes the geniuses are kind of monsters. You ever seen the?
It's my excuse. No, just kidding.
Yeah, exactly. Monster. You ever see the Christian Bale? I want to say it's Batman, and he's
yelling
doing
at some lighting person.
Yeah,
You're in my light.
right. You with the da 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 in the background. Oh,
Get over here. No, we're stopping.
Right.
Whatever. I forget what he said, but it's pretty hilarious.
kinda is.
Because there was one of David O. Russell on the set of, I forgot what movie it was, but Lily Tomlin just yelling at each other, cussing each other out.
I like.
Why is it so much fun to hear that?
I don't know, but man, I like a good tantrum. It's kind of fun.
It
you
is.
know, a
It's
public
sort
tantrum.
of cathartic. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I want to do that sometimes. Fuck you guys. I want to moderate this panel the way I want to moderate it.
You'll sit down and shut up.
Andrew Lincoln. No, I'm just kidding. Who do you
The
think
ni-
you are, Chandler Riggs? Carl?
2 of the nicest cast
I
members.
know. I do get to moderate the Andrew Lincoln panel in
you?
Atlanta with James. Yeah. There's going to be some
Nice.
surprises too. So I'm
Are
looking
you going
forward
to yell
to
at
that.
him? Tell
Yeah,
him
I'm
to
going to
shut
say,
up. Sit down and
I'm
shut
going to
up.
show you who's boss. It's you.
Nice. Oh, yeah. You should definitely ask him about the lawsuit. Just kidding.
No, I'm just going to
No.
be happy to be in his presence because he's the nicest and most talented person in the world.
And you hand him a dictionary and just read out of this.
Yeah.
And then
he's
Karen will be
he's
happy.
just the coolest guy ever.
He
okay.
is.
I mean, I took Nico up to him and he just like spent a few minutes. How you doing, buddy? And all this.
Aw, did you get a picture of that?
No, but he's probably going, what the fuck am I supposed to do? Your hands with his kid.
That's a cute kid, all right. Oh, God, another cute kid. Oh, for fuck's sake.
No, I'm just kidding. He's super nice. Okay, next, let's see. Describing season 8 in an interview at comicbook.com, Stephen Ogg, who plays Simon,
Said
says,
it
"It's
was the most
amazing."
amazing. It's going to be off
No.
the charts. Incredible. What?
He said, yeah, let's thin the herd, man. Let's thin the herd.
Is that what he said?
So maybe the herd will be thinned.
Nice. Does he mean the zombie herd or does he mean the living herd?
No, I thought he meant the living herd. Yeah, not the zombie herd.
It might be the zombie herd, which I say, yeah,
Could
go ahead
be.
and thin that. Thin that.
The 3 Walking Dead actors have been announced to appear on Talking Dead after the season 8 premiere, and they are Melissa McBride, Jeffrey Dean Morgan, and Lenny James. So I think they'll all die. Yeah, in the premiere probably.
Pickle jinx.
What if you could like get Negan killed off, but also Melissa McBride would have to go? Would you do it?
No.
Okay. You had
No.
to think about it, though.
I did for just
Leaving-
a second.
leaving
I
that
was like,
pause
well, that
in.
would be kind of nice.
Not
No.
gonna
You
edit
know
out that
what?
pause.
Even without Carol,
Yeah.
I don't want him to go. Not yet.
You want him to
And
suffer?
maybe not ever. No.
Oh.
I want him to be repentant.
Oh, okay.
I want him to sit down and shut up. No, I
Sit
want him.
down
I
and
kind of
just
do.
acknowledge what you did, young man.
Use your words.
I'm sorry.
I was wrong to bash in
Glenn's
Glenn's
head.
head.
Now write it.
Abraham
You're gonna
too.
have to write it 100 times on this chalkboard. I'm sorry, I bashed in
women
Glenn's
are
head.
equals and they're human, and I'm sorry that
I will not bash in anyone's head.
Yes. Except if they're zombies, and then yes.
Then I can, right? Yes, Negan. That's fine. Okay. So AMC's going to air an hour-long preview special for Walking Dead Season 8 on Sunday, September 10th, which is 6 weeks before the premiere, but that's because it's Fear the Walking Dead is on that night, so I guess they're going for some synergy. I don't know.
A
Just thought I would announce that.
special. What kind of
Yeah, I
special?
think it's a preview and some interviews and stuff like that. I don't know. It's an
All right,
hour
we're gonna
long.
we're gonna be reporting on it.
Yeah, we'll
I think we have to by law.
say it was on.
This is the reporting.
So let's see. Alexander Breckenridge, who played Jesse, had a baby like 11 months ago, and she's pregnant
gorgeous.
again.
Oh,
Her second one.
congratulations!
He's pumping those things out. Next, Norman Reedus told CNET.com there were aspects of how they were writing Daryl early on that he fought. I think we've talked about this a little before, but
Thought.
he says there were always scripts that had him taking drugs and being racist like his brother was. I fought to change those because I felt he should be more an Al-Anon member and not a full-blown Alcoholics Anonymous member. He should have grown up with it, felt ashamed of it, and wasn't comfortable with who he was. That allows him to grow into somebody you respect.
Yep.
I say weak. That's weak. It's like, I wanted him to be cool, not somebody you hate. That's how I feel. I mean,
really?
like, well, let's see, check it out. Like, I respect the actors who bring humanity to flawed characters, like Bryan Cranston with
Yes.
Walter White and James Gandolfini with what's his name, Tony Soprano. What if
Soprano,
he'd said, "Well, I want Tony Soprano to leave the mob and join the police force and change his ways and become a good person."
Yeah. I like Tony Soprano because he's so unapologetically
Tony Soprano.
and even unknowingly Tony Soprano. He's flawed in ways he has no idea he's flawed.
Yeah.
At least Walter White knew the ways he was flawed and was kind of enough. He was enough self-aware that he understood his flaws. But Tony Soprano never even understood what his flaws were.
I guess not. He was very complicated.
I
But
love them
both of
both.
those guys were heavily
Fantastic.
flawed, and they didn't.
Yes.
I didn't see Bryan Cranston going, "Can we just make Walter White really apologetic and stop making meth and
No. Yes.
and be a hero?"
Yeah. Huh. You know what? We're doing a Breaking Bad rewatch right now, David and I.
Oh,
We're on season 2 right now. It's so good.
yeah, that's such a great show.
Yep.
Yeah, I want to do that sometime. Let's see. So here's another one. Tom Payne who plays Jesus, talked to comicbook.com about the differences between season 7 and season 8. He goes, "I think season 8 that we're getting into now, it's completely different. First of all, I always told myself I wouldn't say what I've heard other cast members say every year, which is, oh, the next season's going to be this, and the new episode
Off the
is
chain.
so many superlatives and so many words you use." And I'm like, come on, you can't say the same things every year. But then I had to bite my tongue and says, well, actually, season 8, the first few episodes are out of this world amazing. So we've been getting them and going, wow, okay, we thought that was amazing. And then the next episode is amazing. The audience is going to be very happy with the direction we're taking. We're all really happy. So he's in the cult now.
Yeah, he sure is. He drank the Kool-Aid.
Indoctrinated.
Well done, Tom Payne. Well done to not say what everyone else says.
At least he acknowledged it.
Yes.
I think that's actually kind of funny. One of us.
Maybe he's right. Maybe it's going to be the most amazing thing.
I don't know, man. You ever heard of that story of the boy who cried wolf?
Cried wolf. Yes. Yes, I have.
I shouldn't say that. It is an amazing show. And I thought last season kicked out all kinds of ass. All right. So I just like being snarky. But Resident Evil 2 is one of my favorite games. I think was at the top of my list back in like 2010 when we did our top zombie properties of any kind. And I just love it. It's like my first experience of feeling like I was actually in the zombie apocalypse. Well, they're doing a remake of it.
Oh, a remake of the video game?
Yes, and that's a new thing that they're doing lately, because when it first came out, like at the time it seemed really advanced, but now it's total crap, like pixelated garbage, and the voice acting's horrible. As good. No. And the original Resident Evil, they did a remake in the 90s, and it was amazing because it just looked really dark, and the zombies looked, the way they moved and the detail was great.
Yeah.
And they're like, and so I mean, that was 12 years ago or more. And so I'm like really excited about this because they've been working on it for 2 years. Mm-hmm. And that makes me feel like they're really putting a lot into it. Back in 1998, Romero directed a commercial for the game Resident Evil 2.
He did?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Just a zombie commercial.
Oh, George Romero.
So I don't know when it's going to come out. Next year is, I think, the 20th anniversary of Resident Evil 2. So I think it'll probably come out next year.
Will you buy it?
Yeah, no question, man. This game I'm more excited about than any game. One sad thing is this girl, Allison Court, she was the voice actress for the female lead named Clara Redfield. And there have been a lot of Resident Evil games since then that had Claire, and she's always been the voice actress. But this time, the third-party localization team making the game chose to go non-union, and so she didn't want to break union, so they're not using her.
That's not good.
Yeah, so that's kind of a bummer.
Aww.
Because she's good.
Well, all right. Melissa, there's an opening for you.
Are you union? I don't think so. Go for it. And then while I was talking about this, I just want to mention that I was contacted a while back by this nice person from the Crimson Head Elder podcast who it's a Resident Evil centered podcast, and he interviews the creators and voice actors from the series. He interviewed Allison Court, and he's talked to the actors who played, for you fans, Jill Valentine, Chris Redfield, Albert Wesker, Barry Burton, and a whole bunch more, plus composers, writers, and creators. So if you're a super fan, I think he's British too, I'm not sure, but anyways, it's fun to listen to. So go to crimson-head.com to hear that.
Crimson Head.
Crimson Head is because when they did the Resident Evil remake, if you killed a zombie but you didn't burn it, and you just left it laying there, when you came back, suddenly it would have this red face, and it would be fast and clawed and more dangerous. So those were the Crimson Heads.
Oh, you got to burn the Zeds.
And you're in a big mansion with lots of small spaces with hallways, and you walk around the corner, and all of a sudden there's one coming at you. You know, it's so cool. You would love this game. Yeah.
Does the mansion make sense spatially?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah,
it's really cool.
And there's Resident Evil is famous for having puzzles that don't quite make sense, but they're fun and it's scary, and I don't know, it's just a great game.
Can you play it with your, what is that called? Not the 3D. Yeah, your goggles and
the new
VR?
The latest Resident Evil game, Resident Evil 7, which is probably the scariest game I've ever played in my life, is compatible with that, but I won't play it with that. It's scary enough without it.
Oh, I want to play
I'm sitting there watching the TV over there going, oh God, I got to stop playing because it's just getting me too much. And then you put that thing on and you're in it, I'm going to crap my pants and have a heart attack. In that order.
Good to know.
So, all right.
Okay, off limits.
But yeah, you can try it if you want. You know what I was actually thinking would be fun, because people stream games now. And
they
play.
sure do.
Yeah. So maybe you and I could stream Resident Evil 7. You come over here and watch me play it.
Yeah.
And people can hear you go,
yeah,
oh my God, or
it'd be fun.
This is boring. I think you'd like it.
I would love it. Let's try that.
All right, that's it for the news. Now it's time for our second and final sponsor. That's Fracture. So I think most of you have probably heard of Fracture by now, but if you have not, here's what they are. It's your photo printed on a pane of glass in vivid color. We're proud to have them as our sponsor because we love their product. It comes in many sizes. You can get really small, really big, square, or rectangle. And when you get it, it's ready to just hang on the wall, pop it up there. I love them because they're really simple and they're minimal, but they're beautiful in and of themselves. And as a product, I just like the way the product looks and feels, but they're personal to you because it's your photo showcased. It's your memories, it's your best photos. It's showcasing something in a really nice way of yours. And a lot of those photos you have hidden on your phone and you don't see them very much or at all. Nobody else sees them. Maybe you put it up on Facebook one time, but then, it goes away. So I know some of those photos would look nice on your wall and you would actually appreciate being able to look up and see your little kid or, that beautiful glen that you visited. I mean, like a forest glen.
Right. I was thinking, no, Glenn. Yes. Stephen Yun. He is beautiful.
You could do a Stephen Yun fracture. I wonder if you'd get in trouble for that. Can I fracture Stephen Yun? So they're really easy to order. You just upload your photo and click the buy button and then you get it in the mail. They make awesome gifts.
They do.
Because it's hard to figure out what to give people. And this is really nice. And it can be a shared memory and you just present it to them. And they're like, oh my God, that's so cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can get creative with it too. One listener of ours, Wendy, showed me that Fracture featured one of her fractures on they have an Instagram at Fracture Me, and it says it was like she's into scrapbooking because a couple of episodes ago I was saying I didn't know what a scrapbook was, and she showed me some of hers and they were just beautiful, like trips she's taken and all creatively designed frames and little sayings and things like that. So she had a nice fracture that she did kind of like that, and they featured it on there. So that was pretty nice.
She made their Instagram. That's pretty good.
For some reason, my mind still goes to like this macabre serial killer scrapbook whenever I think of it, like bound in flesh.
Oh my God.
That's pretty gross.
Yeah, no, that's not modern scrapbooking.
That's not what it's all about. No. So to get a fracture, go to fractureme.com/podcast. Pick Walking Dead cast so they know you heard about them from us. If it's your first time ordering and you do that, you can use the code for 10% off that they give you. That's fractureme.com/podcast. Thanks, Fracture.
Thanks, Fracture. Serial killers.
Okay, now it's time to talk about Rear Window, which is Alfred Hitchcock movie starring Jimmy Stewart and
Grace Kelly. And Thelma Ritter.
That's
she plays
the
nurse Stella.
Yeah, that's what I got out of this movie is I want Thelma Ritter to come to my house every day.
Yes, and take care of things.
Give me a vigorous oil massage.
Rub down. I think she had liniment.
She's from his insurance company.
Yes, she was the insurance company nurse, and she basically told him what's what. And I would love to have a nurse come down and as she's like putting liniment on my back, tell me, okay, here's the ways you're screwing up your life.
Yeah.
Here's how you can fix it.
And talk frankly about chopping up bodies.
Oh, she was great.
Yeah. They were all good. Even Doyle was pretty good. My favorite thing Doyle did is he tried to take a drink and he just spilled it all over himself. Said he wasn't good with snifters or something.
Yeah. Snifters are tricky though. He tried to like put it back like a shot.
To down it, yeah.
And it did like all the cognac or whatever
just
sort of went,
up.
Like, all right.
And that just showed to me that's kind of how he is. He's sort of sloppy and careless and he wouldn't pay any attention to them. And
well, honestly, when you think about it, he did some sleuthing. I mean,
Yeah, he did. He helped.
He did. He tracked down the crate, and the crate secured with rope was just women's clothing. Okay. And then he went to the train station where she was supposed to arrive, and there was a woman, or a policeman was there, and it was, Mrs. whatever her name was, and she had arrived. So seems to me that he did his due diligence.
That's true. And I love that he actually helped the dude, Jeff, but he also was kind of snarkily skeptical the whole time.
The whole time.
And one of my favorite things about these old movies that are really well done, because I think they still, plays had been around for so long that the movies were kind of written like plays back then. And that means that they have a lot of clever dialogue. And like when Doyle comes over and he's talking to him about it, but he's kind of skeptical, but he is helping. And then he goes, right before he leaves, he goes, "Do you have any headaches lately?" And Jeff's like, "Not until you showed up." And he goes,
Right.
"Well, it'll wear off in time along with the hallucinations. See you around." So they just kind of give each other shit, just subtly.
I mean, it took place pretty much entirely in the apartment.
Yeah.
And it could very well have been a stage production. I mean,
yeah,
easily. It's just like the one room, and they're looking out, and it had to rely on amazing actors, and it had to rely on the snappy dialogue and the interesting story. And it had all those things. It had the actors playing these characters that are funny and they're smart, and they
fully realized,
and the way they interact with each other, it's fabulous.
Yeah.
I love. They all kind of give each other shit. Jeff gives Lisa Fremont, his girlfriend, he gives her all kinds of crap. She gives the crap right back. And Nurse Stella gives him crap.
Yeah.
He gives her crap. I mean, it's
the kind
awesome.
of crap where, like, if somebody gives you that kind of crap, you suddenly like them a little more because they're not trying to ingratiate themselves. They just consider you enough of a friend that they can play around.
Yep,
it's like
exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, I hope we didn't, like, for people who, I don't know if you're familiar with this, it's Alfred Hitchcock directed it.
Yes, I guess we should start from the start.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, we're gonna spoil a lot of it. But I recommend you guys go watch it if you haven't seen it. It's considered one of his best movies. Some people consider it his best, and it's also on a lot of lists of best movies ever.
Yeah.
Now, it's an older movie, and if you're not into old movies, which I wasn't for a long time, I just thought boring. But then my friend Doug in college pulled me aside and gave me a big vodka tonic and said, "Sit here and watch Philadelphia Story." With,
I love Philadelphia Story.
With Jimmy Stewart, Katharine Hepburn, and Cary Grant. And I really started to notice, they're just walking around in a big mansion, but it's all about the character interactions and the psychology and who's kind of one-upping who and the dialogue and the little subtleties of it. It's just very involved if you let yourself be taken away by it.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of little interactions and dialogue that don't really have anything to do with the plot. They're just there, little flourishes and linguistic asides that are so much fun and so rich and stuff.
We've been on a Hitchcock watching binge too. My favorite is probably Rear Window, is probably number one, but closely followed by North by Northwest.
Mm-hmm.
Have you
one
seen
of my favorites.
Oh man, it's good.
I always loved The Birds because it's so freaky.
I still haven't seen it.
Oh, you got to watch that.
It's one of the ones I haven't seen.
Of course, Psycho.
Psycho is fabulous.
Yeah.
We've been watching, like, we saw Notorious and we saw Spellbound. So we've been doing some obscure ones too.
Nice.
It's been super fun. David loves these old movies. He used to go with his dad to the old movie theater in Palo Alto and
awesome theater,
and watch them. Yeah.
I think I'm gonna watch Psycho there actually.
Oh, that's nice. That's true. You lived in Palo Alto too. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, one thing I loved about it was the setting. And did you read about the set?
Yeah, go ahead and tell me about it.
So, it is a giant set. I mean, I thought it was actually filmed in an apartment building, but of course it wasn't. It's probably too complex to film in an actual apartment building, but they based it on an actual apartment building. It's a giant soundstage, basically. So it's a huge set at the Paramount Studios in Hollywood, and they had 31 apartments that were built. 12 of them were fully furnished. They built it in 6 weeks, which is incredible.
It's amazing.
Yes,
I didn't
really
know that
is.
while I was watching, and I'm like, I can't build anything in 6 weeks, and they just built this whole world.
And it's incredible. It even had like a really functional drainage system because there was a scene where it rained. And it's based on a real apartment in Chelsea, the neighborhood of Chelsea in New York. And it's kind of great because the movie is based when there was a massive heat wave. So that explains why they all had to have their windows open.
You could hear everything.
And you could see it because the blinds were up, so to get the breeze in. So,
although I think it would have been, it did seem like everybody would just like look up and be like, look at that dude with the big giant window who's staring at all of us
with the binoculars and the camera.
Apparently, if you just like went back a little bit into the shadows, you couldn't see him.
You couldn't see him. But also, everybody else seemed to have something of a life, whereas he was just stuck there as a photographer.
Mm-hmm.
And as a photographer, that's professionally, what does he do? He takes pictures and he looks at things and he notices people.
He's a photojournalist,
and
he's so
why.
restless.
Yes.
And that's his character, and yet he's stuck. So he's feeling claustrophobic, and I also think that's sort of a metaphor for his feelings about marriage, that he doesn't want to be trapped, and he's a man of adventure. But you're right, he's observant, and I think he's a photojournalist, not just a photographer. Either way,
he works in a magazine
looking for a story. And so sitting there in his boring neighborhood thinking about Pakistan and the jungles of Africa and stuff, you might think, he's just making up stuff because he's bored, so you don't really know as you're watching whether or not he's actually seeing something going down or not.
True. But then at some point, Stella and Lisa, his girlfriend and his nurse, they both buy into it. At some point, they're like, okay, we're in. Yeah. We're in. And in fact, Lisa tells him, she tells him, you're being a voyeur, a peeping Tom, blah, blah, blah. And then she sees something and she's like, wait a second. And then she's in. She's all
tell me
in.
everything. Yeah.
Yeah. That's great. When the three of them decide to team up, it's my favorite part.
And I liked that the movie started off, it took 30 minutes in before there's any hint of this is a thriller.
Yeah.
It was all about the atmosphere. And,
yes.
And, I love the voyeuristic aspect of it. I think that's probably what hooked in Hitchcock. He's like, people want to be able to have permission to be a voyeur. And one of the very first scenes is him looking in at that beautiful blonde as she's putting on her top and
Miss Torso,
showing her butt and everything.
Yeah.
And it's like, I think that's why Facebook is so popular, because you can go Facebook stalk everybody and be a voyeur without them knowing.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
It kind of touches on that. But it was so much fun, to see all the different stories play out and the cycles of this world. Like in the daytime, it was always there was a lot of activity and sounds, and then at night it was quiet, but there would be something more intriguing going on, maybe in one or two of the spots. Just a nice environment with the lighting, how the lighting changed, and the soundscapes and everything. So if you're going to be stuck in this spot and not even any thriller aspects until half an hour in, it was just a nice place to hang out, I thought, with Jimmy Stewart,
With Jimmy Stewart.
Yeah.
And can we just mention for just a minute the incomparable Grace Kelly, who is so beautiful. I mean, she's just the most lovely, and she wears such gorgeous clothes. I was jonesing for her entire wardrobe. It was so beautiful. And to hang out with Jimmy Stewart and Grace Kelly, okay, if they just want to sit there and talk, I'm in.
Yeah. Well,
I mean,
the first time I ever watched this movie, the reason why is because this girl I was dating in grad school wanted me to see how Jimmy Stewart and Grace Kelly kissed each other, which was sort of a not so subtle hint to me.
really?
This is how you kiss. Because there was so much kissing in that movie, and they did it.
I guess there was.
It while
Super
they were talking,
close up.
but yeah, very sensual and light, and so that did help me actually. My kissing hasn't been the same since I saw that.
The girl's gone, but the kissing training remains.
Yeah. So, but I had my own little flair to it. But anyways, check this out. I was reading about facts about this movie. Before she was Princess Grace of Monaco, Grace Kelly had a reputation, whether true or not, for having affairs with her male co-stars, even the married ones. One of those men was Ray Milland, whose spurned wife just happened to be good friends with Jimmy Stewart's wife, Gloria. Gloria was less than thrilled at the prospect of her husband working with Kelly and developed a bit of paranoia. According to True Grace, The Life and Times of an American Princess, Gloria was on set constantly watching for signs of an affair. Nothing materialized, although Rear Window cast member Thelma Ritter confirmed that Kelly was a huge flirt. Quote, "I think it took Stewart back to his fancy-free, footloose bachelor days," she said. "I don't say he flirted, but he didn't seem to mind it either."
That's funny. I wouldn't mind if Grace Kelly flirted with me.
What if she flirted with David?
I think David would understand. I think I'd understand if she flirted with David. Wow, that's great.
So it was based on a short story. It had to be murder. And in that story, there was no girlfriend or nurse. And his leg injury wasn't mentioned until the last line, which said, "Guess we can take the cast off your leg now. You must be tired of sitting there all day long doing nothing." So I guess that was sort of a surprise at the end of the story.
That's a great surprise too. Isn't that fabulous?
And the villain guy, what was his name? Thorwald or something?
Yeah, it was
played
Lars.
by Raymond Burr.
Lars Thorwald.
He was based off of David O. Selznick, who was a producer that Hitchcock hated. So he kind of made him up to look like him.
With curly hair?
Yeah.
Yeah, and David O. Selznick is one of these larger-than-life guys. I think he was the producer of Gone with the Wind.
Okay.
And sort of this big, bombastic personality, supposedly. Just funny. By the way, did you ever watch Perry Mason?
I'd probably seen a couple episodes when I was a kid.
That was Raymond Burr.
I never really got into it. Yeah. Big burly dude. Burly Burr. What do you, no, I don't want to talk about that. Oh, I want a little bit about Jimmy Stewart. So I really like Jimmy Stewart, and I like that he's kind of grumpy and standoffish, but lovable.
Yep.
And I found out a while back that he was already a big star. He'd done Philadelphia Story and Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, a bunch of movies. Then he went off to war, and he enlisted. I think he was drafted, but then they turned him down because of his weight. So he got his weight up and re-enlisted, and then he fought to be able to go into combat. He was a pilot, and they wanted to keep him doing service jobs, but he pushed, and then he went to Germany, and so he really wanted to get involved. And then when he came back, his first movie back was It's a Wonderful Life, and they said that his acting had changed because he had PTSD probably,
of course.
He had all this weight and energy or emotion. So
that's fantastic. What a hero.
This movie was a little later in his career, so it was after all of that.
This movie came out in 1960, is that right?
No, 54.
54.
Yeah.
54. I read that Grace Kelly turned down or was offered the role in On the Waterfront. Was it On the Waterfront?
Yeah.
And that she turned it down to play, to do this.
Good.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really know anything about that movie, but, and then I liked the epilogue. It was kind of a series of little jokes that the hot blondes, nerdy Rick Moranis army boyfriend comes home.
Came home. Yeah.
Hey, honey, what you got in the icebox?
I'm starved.
And the two newlyweds who had been all lovebirds the whole time, she's like, if you told me you quit your job, I wouldn't have gotten married. And he's like, oh, honey, come on. And Jeff has 2 broken legs now. And Lisa's in her jeans and more practical, casual clothes reading this adventure book. But then he's asleep, so she pulls out her fashion mag.
Right.
So did you think it was at all like offensively old-fashioned how they were sort of stereotypical? He was the rough and tumble dude and she was like the fashionista and everything.
But she was rough and tumble too. In fact,
yeah, that's
she
true.
climbed the ladder up into Thorwald's apartment in high heels and a really fancy dress. And got in there, and she was doing some sleuthing. I mean, I looked at how she went from the fire escape, and then she had to sort of crawl over to the window. And I was like, she's doing that in high heels.
Yeah, because when she first went over there to deliver the note, and then she came back and she's like, "Did he find it? What? And she's all excited. He's like so admiring of her. Oh,
yes,
she is willing to get her hands dirty and have some adventure.
Yeah.
But then when she went on the fire escape, he's like, "Get out of there!" It was too much for him.
It was, but she did it, man. She's awesome. So I think it actually subverted the
stereotype.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I guess the only other thing, like to me, Alfred Hitchcock typically is about thrillers and suspense, and this movie had a lot of that, but that was almost secondary for me. But at the end, when it's almost like Jeff's been watching TV this whole time, and then somebody he knows goes into the TV, and there's nothing he can do.
Right.
And that was a trip. Like, oh
yes.
shit, my girlfriend's being attacked. I
have no power.
Yeah.
I have nothing.
And then the villain comes from out of the TV into his apartment. So that was such a cool little ending segment there. Yeah.
It really, really was. And I like that he tried to blind him with the flash bulbs.
Because flash is supposed to illuminate, but he was using it to blind instead.
Yep. So great. By the way, did you ever see the Simpsons spoof on Rear Window?
I may have, but it's been a long time. I don't remember.
Bart breaks his leg in the swimming pool and and all summer long has to be in his bedroom. And so he's up there with a telescope and he watches, of course, the Flanders next door. And he thinks that Ned Flanders kills his wife, Maud, but in fact, he just kills the houseplant in the end. Yeah, it's great.
Good. Yeah, I did see that. Maud ended up dying, right?
Eventually.
Spoilers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
Anything else you want to say about it?
No.
I think
go watch it. You'll love it.
I'd say watch it.
Trust
for sure,
us
if you haven't already seen it. All right, then we'll. You guys had some stuff to say, and we'll hear about that. So here's your reactions to Rear Window.
And the first one comes from Matt Whitehurst, who writes, "Sorry, Disturbia. Hitchcock did it first and better. If you asked me who my favorite actor is from the 30s to the 60s, it would be Jimmy Stewart. This is one of his best performances." And he's referring to Disturbia, the supposed remake of, although there have been a couple Rear Window remakes, one with Christopher Reeve, believe it or not. But Disturbia, David was saying, "Oh my God, please tell me you're not reviewing Disturbia." And I said, no, we're not reviewing Disturbia. We're reviewing Rear Window. But David's like, don't. He's like, don't bother with Disturbia.
I don't know anything about Disturbia except that it's supposed to be based on this. And I saw there was a Christopher Reeve after he'd had his accident. I don't know if that was any good either. I never saw it.
I'm shaking my head vigorously.
Yeah, how could it be as good as this one anyway? But I admire him for doing it.
Yes, absolutely.
Steve Brown says, "I agree mostly. I think Stewart's performance in The Man Who Knew Too Much is slightly better, though." I never saw that.
I haven't either. I'm going to put that on my list. Matt Whitehurst replies, "Fair enough. That one is good also. I just want to give Vertigo some love." Yeah, Vertigo.
I didn't like Vertigo. I just like
San Francisco.
Yeah, I just wasn't into it. And people are going, what? Because that's also considered one of his bests. And maybe I should watch it again because it's been probably 15 years since I saw it. I like his other movies.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Lisa Moreno says, it's in my top 3 of fave Hitchcock movies. Such great camera angles and acting. I loved it when I was younger. Dial M for Murder and The Birds are my first 2. My parents loved Hitchcock when I was young, so it inspired my love of true crime and suspense. Great choice for a movie review.
I have not seen Dial M for Murder. That has got to be on my list.
I have either, yeah.
Okay, that's movie night. Heather Johnson writes, I'm a huge Hitchcock fan. Rear Window is my favorite, and Dial M for Murder was one of the classics. I have a collection of Hitchcock's older movies, 39 Steps, Strangers on a Train, so good.
Mo Favo says, Notorious is my favorite. Ingrid Bergman, Cary Grant, amazing.
It is. It's
Yeah.
great. Yep.
I like how much she looks like her daughter, who is named I'm forgetting, but
yeah.
I don't know.
Isabella Rossellini.
That's it. Yeah. It's almost like the same person.
Yeah, she's Isabella Rossellini is also stunning.
Mm-hmm.
Mark Merkman writes, I had to watch it for film class years ago. Very well done. Movie about voyeurism. Yeah. Well, he's a photographer.
Yeah.
That's what he does, man.
Yeah, it's about voyeurism. Say it proud. Stephanie Horn Alfaro says, one of my most favorite films. I was introduced to it as a child by parents who instilled in me a love of voyeurism. No, I'm just kidding. Of older movies. The style, the pacing, the fashion, even the music I found sweeping and compelling. Yeah, we didn't talk about the music, but it was great how the sounds of the neighborhood became the songwriter, kind of, that was the background music a lot of times.
Yes.
So nice.
Yep.
Even as a kid, even after all these years, I still find myself sitting on the edge of my seat during the end. Jimmy Stewart brought such a quiet swagger to film. Thanks for the nostalgia on an otherwise gloomy Monday.
Aww. Robin Springer writes, I love the way Grace Kelly's character gets sucked into the drama, even after Jimmy Stewart breaks up with her. Some of her hominid going into the suspect's apartment. Did she mean hominid?
I don't know.
Going into the suspect's apartment required a lot of suspension of disbelief from me, but I still felt the tension. What else could she have meant?
I don't know what a
hubris?
hominid is, so yeah, we'll say hubris. Sean Naranjo Glowacki said, love it. Classic Hitchcock. Tense, thrilling, funny, and glamorous. They really do not make movies like this anymore.
Yep.
But they should try. My favorite thing, however, are the window vignettes throughout the film. Yeah.
Yep.
Just seeing everybody's lives.
Little channels on in his virtual television. Yeah. Dan Medsty writes, was always my favorite Hitchcock movie. When I saw it as a kid, it was the first time I'd ever seen limited location on a film used in an engaging way. Plus, Jimmy Stewart, come on. The man was gold. Yep.
Yeah, I guess it's a virtual television because that would just make it real. It's virtual.
Yeah.
It's virtually virtual. Kim Freemal Sonderman says, one of my favorite Hitchcock movies. I think I first saw it when I was around 20. I was taken by the simple black and white imagery and Jimmy Stewart's acting. He was always just that guy from that Christmas movie, but this movie showed his depth. The story was intense and the imagery was beautiful.
You know, it's funny. It wasn't black and white. It was colorized, but I think the colorization happened later, right?
Oh, I don't know. We should have found out because every time I've seen it 3 times, always in color.
Always in color. Right.
Yeah.
But it's funny. I watched, I think it was Notorious, and it took me about half an hour to realize it was black and white. Like it didn't even occur to me it was, no. And then after a while I was like, oh yeah, it's black and white, but it didn't make any difference. It's still an amazing movie.
Huh. Your turn.
Sorry. Pam Morse writes, my first Hitchcock film, and it hooked me. I find this type of psychological horror so much scarier than in-your-face gore. He was a genius at photography and movies, a real innovator. You should check out The Rope, a film where he experimented with real-time movie and long, unbroken takes, all taking place in one room. You're right. We do need to see that.
I've seen clips of that where... because it's all in one room and they did have to make cuts just because of the limitations of film technology. So they had like 3 cuts in the whole movie or something. And so when somebody would walk in front of the camera, that would mask the cut. something like that.
Great. That's great.
Because now if you watch a YouTube video, they don't mass cuts. The person just jumps sideways because that's kind of the style, but can't do that in a Hitchcock movie. Steve Brown, who's a cool dude in town, says, loved it. I remember liking it, especially since Jimmy Stewart is a photographer.
And Fran Bernstein writes, one of my favorite Hitchcock movies. I loved how Jeff names all the neighbors. It's a habit of mine. I do it too. We have people who walk in the neighborhood, a husband and wife team that like walk and walk and walk and walk and walk. And of course, we name them the Walkers. And it turns out other people in the neighborhood also refer to them as the Walkers. That's like a common name of theirs. It's so great.
That's funny. Mo Fava says, have you ever shared with the neighbor? I feel like she's saying, do they know about this behavior of yours?
Oh.
Oh, and this is the 3 names should be bold-faced, not just 2.
Oh,
the next one.
Karen Kerr Bailey writes, love, sweet.
And then we have one call about the movie from Jimmy Stewart.
Hello? Yes, this is Jimmy Stewart. Yes, calling into the Walking Dead podcast with Jason and Karen is her name. Yes, you're reviewing A Rare Window. Yes, I remember that movie. It's a very good movie with Alfred Hitchcock and myself looking out a window. Yes, very entertaining. But it was extremely long, and that's pretty much it. Very good movie, though. Yes.
That was in his later senile days.
No zombie sounds?
I know. Where's Jimmy Stewart's zombie sound?
I know.
Call back,
Come
Jimmy. We got
Thanks, Jimmy.
Email from, unrelated to Rear Window, from longtime listener Eric Sherman. He says, something I've been thinking about for a while now that I think a lot of the Deadcast and the listenership has also been thinking about. What keeps me interested in The Walking Dead, and how does that affect how I consume it? I'm into how the show portrays how people endure bleak circumstances. The show, as well as the comic, have been really good about initially focusing in reality tight on the few main characters and then widening the scope while doing a good job of subverting plot expectations and telling an intriguing story. Over the years, I suspect most people, have grown used to the cheap storytelling techniques the show uses to keep viewers watching on a weekly basis. Net effect, the show is good, but enduring it weekly can be torturous. And I totally get it. That's what the show's about. And honestly, I think this past season was the best the show has been yet. It is divinely dismal and a struggle to endure. Sounds so nice. They knocked it out of the park along with Glenn's eyeball. I have to applaud them for it. But I also have to get out of my seat and exit the ranks of the weekly viewers. That's not to say I'm quitting The Walking Dead completely, and I'm definitely not quitting the podcast. I stand by my comments that I could listen to Jason and Karen and company talk about anything. Y'all are great, organized, compassionate thinkers, and it comes through. Thank you.
Thanks.
I'm going to listen weekly and occasionally write in as per usual, but I'm only going to binge the show at the end of the seasons. I'm not worried about spoiling plot details because I don't care anymore. It's a silly thing to worry about in the age of social media. One thing I'm very excited about is writing in weekly about nonsense that I will imagine happened in the show. That could be fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
I'm not going to watch, but I'm going to pretend like I did, and y'all can compare and contrast how close to reality the nonsense in my noggin was to all the bullshit Walking Dead writer room spews out.
I love it.
What will fill the void Walking Dead occupied, you ask?
Yes.
Going out and dancing with the girl of my dreams and coming up with musical arrangements for her choreography.
What?
Exploring the Pacific Northwest. He's a musician. Pacific Northwest by rock climbing and jumping out of airplanes and petting kitties and building literal as well as metaphorical bridges in the world around us all. I'm leaving the world of the living dead behind me, but I'll return from time to time as a visitor, not as a resident. Love you guys and your show and the electronics ecosystem you've built and sustained. It's impressive, entertaining, and full of deep thoughts. Don't get bit unless it's for fun and on the nipple by a living person. Your pal, Eric Sherman.
Eric Sherman, that is so sweet. What a nice thing to say.
It makes me feel bad about myself, Eric, because I watch so much TV and I should be out petting kitties and writing music for my wife.
Building bridges, literal and metaphorical.
But I shouldn't just relate it to myself. I should just say, that sounds awesome.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So.
he's living the life. Yay for you, Eric, baby. And we'll let you know if your predictions are correct. If any of the things do happen, if they have a pancake eating contest, for instance, in Alexandria, we'll let you know.
Okay, and then we have one more call. This is Aubrey, who responded to my request that people who are into the whole Patreon thing write in and talk about it. So here's her call.
Hey, Jason and Karen and Walking Dead Cast listeners. This is Aubrey, and I'm calling to give a plug for being a Patreon supporter. Before I joined Patreon and had jumped on as a supporter of Jason and Karen, I really only had like one or two friends who regularly watched The Walking Dead and would talk about it with me every week. And I didn't really like follow any online groups or anything of people talking about the show. So I felt like the crazed Walking Dead fan amongst like normal Walking Dead fans. So it was really awesome to be able to be a Patreon supporter and not only have all the, this group of people in the Facebook page who knows Jason and Karen and knows the podcast, but are just as crazy about The Walking Dead as I am. It's just a really neat opportunity, especially on Sundays when the episodes are airing, to have our little comment threads about the episodes and talk about them as they're happening and just kind of like react together and laugh together and experience all the highs and lows of the episodes together. Obviously, being a supporter comes with a lot of great opportunities, and I think the call-in shows as well really help to like connect you with other listeners, because not only are you listening to Jason and Karen and contributing to the call, but there's also comments there that you can have a conversation with everyone as the call's going on. So it's just a really great opportunity to not only support your favorite podcasters, but an opportunity to meet other listeners and be crazy with other crazy Walking Dead fans, which is what we all want, honestly. So that's my little plug. Thank you guys for everything you do. I love the podcast. I love the Patreon page. Mwah. Bye.
Oh, that's really nice.
Yeah, I love Aubrey. Thank you.
I do too. That's really sweet. Thanks, honey.
If you want to check out our Patreon, it's patreon.com/Jason and Karen. And also, we're going to do a free month of the Patreon Facebook group, like a trial in November.
Oh, great.
Yeah, so I'll talk more about that later, but basically it's just to give you a chance to check it out if you're thinking you might want to but not sure. And it's if you're interested now already, just write to me at brains@podcastica.com. Otherwise, stay tuned for more details.
Love it.
All right, that's our show, episode 276. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
If you want to give us a call, you can call us at 650-485-DEAD. That's 650-485-3323.
You can email us at brains@podcastica.com.
You can find us on the web at facebook.com/deadcast.
And be sure to check out our other shows at podcastica.com.
And next week, I haven't reached out yet, so I don't know if this will be possible, but I feel like it's time I interviewed someone from Fear the Walking Dead. So I'm going to try for that, but we'll see.
Nice.
Yeah. If not, then I will be interviewing